Good morning, His Church, and I'm so honored and privileged to be sharing a small encouragement with you guys today. And really a word that's been going through my mind this entire time during lockdown and from the beginning of this pandemic, and actually a word that God's spoken over us as a church for this year is the word rest. And the first thing that comes to mind for me and a lot of the young people these days is maybe a Netflix and chill, or maybe taking a little nap. But a couple of weeks ago, I found myself in a little spot where I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed, a little bit tired from the things that were going on in the world. And 10 hours of sleep just wasn't doing the trick. So you'd fall asleep, but you wake up with the same worry on your heart. So it got me thinking about what real rest is all about. And I felt God saying to me that rest is found in what you're focusing on in the season and what you're fixating on. And I'd been so fixated on everything that was going on around me that I was unable to see Jesus in the midst of the storm. And if you look at the life of Peter, it wasn't that the water got wetter or the waves got bigger. It was that he lost sight of Jesus. He lost sight of the founder and perfecter of his faith in that moment. And that's what caused him to sink into the water. For Adam and Eve, it wasn't that they bit the apple or the fruit that caused them to stumble in that moment. It was a loss of focus. The devil had taken their eyes off everything that God had given them onto the one thing that God had forbidden, and that's what caused them to fall. So what is stealing our focus in this time? Because what we focus on will begin to magnify, and ultimately what we magnify will begin to play a role in our daily lives. And so I just want to share 3 practical things that we can do to keep our focus on Jesus in this time. And the first thing is this: spend time with God consistently. And if we're only spending time with God once a week, then we only really positioning ourselves to hear from God 1 out of 7 days a week, and that's only 14%. Now, how many of us would leave our phone on charge for one day and expect it to run through the entire week? No, we charge our phones daily. And this doesn't just affect us, but the people that we're working with on a daily basis. We can be feeling overwhelmed, but these moments with God fill us and refresh us to not only be a better person, but to impact the lives of those around us. The second thing is praise and thanksgiving, and I can't tell you how much this has helped my life. Tom Ingalls says it like this: if you're feeling shaky and unstable in your life, it may be from a lack of praise and thanksgiving. And so I started trying to make this a habit in my life, thanking God for things in my life every day. When Jehoshaphat, the king, was faced with this great army coming against him, the one thing he did was he sent Judah up first. And Judah was a tribe known for praise and worship. And so they went first and they were singing out unto God. And when they sang out to God and they shouted His praises and declared His praises, the enemy literally went on self-destruct mode. And so I want to encourage you, if you just praise for a little a day, if you just would shout unto God once a day and declare His praises every single moment of every single day, you'll start to see your enemies go on self-destruct. And the third thing is this: declaration. The devil is okay with you keeping the battle in your mind, because he knows that the power of life and death is in your tongue. So unless we start to speak things out, unless we start to speak to our enemies, unless we start to speak unto the waves in our lives, we will not see breakthrough. We need to be able to speak. We need to be able to shout and use the authority that God has given us in the season. A friend of mine told me this the other day, and his name is Steve. You guys probably know him. But whenever we say I am, whatever follows that is backed by God's name. You guys probably remember the story when God spoke to Moses, and Moses said to God, "What should I tell the people? Who should I tell the people you are? Whom sent me?" And God said, "I am." So when we say I am sick, we are putting God's name next to something that He does not agree with. So whenever we say I am, and we say I am healed, or I am called, or I am blessed, we are in fact saying God has blessed me, God has healed me. So when we say I am, we are declaring something over our children. We are declaring God's name over our people, over our church, over ourselves. So I want to encourage you guys to start to declare God's praises every single day, and start to declare I am healed, I am blessed, I am called over your children, and we'll start to see breakthrough. So with all of that said, I wanna leave you guys with this. God is on your side. He is with you. He is for you. And He loves you so much. And I cannot wait to see you face to face one day in church. Peace.